Welcome to the Komune Group Show. The Komune Group Show was our first ever team project. And by team, I don't mean just the office team, I mean the brands that we also work with. Our show highlights 12 designers and their 12 one-of-one pieces. The prompt for these pieces, very unspecific. Design something that you would normally hesitate to create. The project as a whole has been a wonderful opportunity for us to work closer with our brands. These people are ultimately friends of our space, and this has been a great time for us to celebrate their unrestrained creativity. Gloria IM is the designer behind Jisung Im. For her contribution, she created a leather jacket. Gloria took this opportunity to focus on personalization. It is her intention to make modifications to the jacket silhouette based on the wearer's preference, which she normally doesn't have the opportunity to do so. We met Gloria in 2023 during our first pop-up, and since then, she's become synonymous with Komune. Her leather work is impeccable, but we've only really ever stocked her accessories and bags in the store. So when Gloria asked us if she could make a jacket for her contribution, we were incredibly excited. The jacket is made out of 100% lamb leather, with a fitted body and elongated sleeves. A lot of avant-garde mimics the human body with slight exaggeration. As such, Gloria constructed flared sleeves to be flattering without being overstated. The pattern references Elena Dawson. Starting with the button placement, we have 3 slanted at the midsection and 1 at the collar, which appears on several Elena Dawson pieces, such as the peak lapel blazer and the goth coat. The lamb leather material is lightweight, making this jacket feel flexible and practical, unlike other full leather pieces, which can often feel a bit constricting. The dual seams also run vertically along the jacket's body, which is an uncommon patterning choice. This affords the jacket a degree of symmetry that a lot of other blazers also lack. Great, I love sounding like an art historian, like you end on like kind of like, ooh. Ken Rao is the director behind Professor E. For their contribution, they created a special edition Forgotten Materials jacket. Ken and the Professor E team initially designed the jacket to test various suit silhouettes. Although they personally liked the pattern, they were unsure if their audience would share their appreciation. For the show, they have reintroduced the jacket with sashiko embellishments. All the jacket's repairs were done by 0222 Studio, a jacket that's personally run by Ken's mother. Ken's mother was eager to take on the mending project, just how any mother would be eager to repair her child's clothes. Taking a look at the jacket behind me, what stands out immediately is the pattern. But what I think is more interesting is actually the fact that it's renditioned in this ecru color. Normally, we see Professor E done in black, and of course the details are dotted throughout, but they're slightly harder to find. But when done in this ecru, you really see a lot of those details pop out. I won't talk too much about the origins of the Professor E brand. We have a video for that, actually. But I do find the repairs a pretty interesting detail that goes within that whole universe. Given that Professor E as a character is set during the Baroque time frame, a repair like this by a mother for a child or for a family member would have been something that was pretty common. Rosa Dahl is the designer behind SF10G. For her contribution, she created a leather and goat fur jacket. The piece is a part of SF10G's 101 line, which explores antique materials through the lens of upcycling. We learned about SF10G earlier this year during Paris Fashion Week. It was a brand that we didn't expect to stock, but quickly fell in love with once we learned about their direction and their design ethos. This jacket embodies the idea of a pilot brand. It was something that we didn't know we wanted until we saw it. The leather on the jacket has a unique color. The pink tones are actually material defects that made the original leather unsellable. The goat fur is also stained, which is so fitting when paired together with the pink hues of the leather. The zipper features antique metal, SF10G hardware, and a seashell. It's remarkable that Rosa found this shell on the beach by chance, as it blends so perfectly with the rest of the piece. The jacket silhouette is a modern reinterpretation of the classic cafe racer leather jacket. Typically, these racer jackets are more fitted and cropped, but SF10G's jacket is an exaggeration of this aesthetic, as we see the jacket sits right above the wearer's waistline. Alex Doyle is the designer behind Pearled Ivory. For his contribution, they created a leather jacket and a skirt set. Pearl Ivory has never explicitly ventured into women's wear. For this project, they saw an opportunity to explore this direction as a pilot for future projects. The Pearl Ivory team has become one of our favorites to work with. The name Sophia is a reference to the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Here, Alex is paying homage to his roots in Turkey, but also a subtle nod at his manufacturers there too. This set stands out for its sheer quality. The leather has a premium feel with its waxy sheen and subtle pebbling. Naturally, the leather will conform and mold slightly to its wear. It will evolve throughout time. The Sophia jacket has a classic leather jacket silhouette with a separated back yoke, tapered body, and zipper sleeves. The skirt has a less conventional structure. Alex chose to make it functional, with dual front pockets, 5 belt loops, and a back vent to accommodate movement. Terry Shin is the designer behind Blackmerle. For his contribution, he created a special edition puffer jacket. Normally, Blackmerle's pieces are designed to harmonize. For the show, however, Terry aimed to create a true statement piece, something to act as an accent within an otherwise understated outfit. Here at Komune, we've expressed our love for Blackmerle countless times before, and their contribution to the group show, both in its inception and execution, perfectly encapsulates why we hold them in such high regard. Even though Blackmerle has always had the resources and capabilities to make a down puffer, they've never publicly released one until now. In fact, their factory actually specializes in down, quilting, and thermal insulation, all aspects of constructing a puffer. As usual, Terry was meticulous about material selection. Together, we sifted through various options, but ultimately chose this sea green cotton nylon from Como, Italy. It's suitable for a down puffer because of its durability. However, it retains this organic, natural quality due to its matte chalkiness. When it comes to the hardware, the zipper closures all use Excella micro zippers. At the hem, hood, and sleeves, you'll also find elastic hook lock closures for styling and for fit. Inside, he gives generous space for layering, while the surface is crafted to withstand the elements. We consider this an example of Blackmerle's statement piece. Gizmo Moon is the designer behind Comaware. For his contribution, he created a pair of special edition Gaia cargo pants. These cargos were an opportunity to test an impractical production process. Gizmo deconstructed the pants and dyed each panel individually. He then reconstructed the pants after, which took more than one attempt to complete. Comaware's aesthetic is bold, extremely recognizable, and naturally very sought after. These Gaia cargos behind me exemplify Comaware's design motifs. The wide leg silhouettes, precise darting, and fidlock snaps are all hallmarks in Comaware's design language. Each leather panel on the pants are made from a varnished calf leather. The fabric is a custom Italian jacquard that Gizmo developed from scratch. While the jacquard technique allows for the integration of the Comacross logo directly into the fabric. This recurring motif, reserved for collaborative pieces, symbolizes the crossing of two creative identities. Isabel Moser is the perfumer behind Moser. For her contribution, she created the Tempest's Kiss. Moser has always been more than just scents. It's a project to evoke holistic experiences. The brand's goals has been to bring intricate worlds to life. And for the Tempest's Kiss, Isabel focused on not just olfactive complexity, but also all its associative elements. Tempest's Kiss, Eau de Parfum.
Eau de Parfum.
Eau.
I think in French we would call it eau.
Typically, marine-inspired fragrances are associated with freshness and simplicity, but this perfume embraces the depth and mystery of a looming cliff from her memory. The packaging design here is also related. The top is sculpted from real coral, which makes this piece feel closer to sculpture than fragrance. Kaya Sorhaindo is the perfumer behind Folie à Précieuses. For his contribution, Kaya created Approaching the Numinous. This fragrance differs from other Folie projects due to its source of inspiration. Folie typically references art, but for this project, Kaya saw an opportunity to reference something more abstract, philosophy. Specifically, the fragrance draws from Rudolf Otto's theological writing, The Idea of the Holy. Rudolf Otto famously coined the numinous to describe the state of religious experience. The scent seeks to emulate Otto's concept by evoking a reaction akin to the numinous. In terms of the technical notes, they lean more natural. Mist accord, mousse, amber, wet rock accord, oakwood, leather, wild heather. Lu Wenjue and Fang Chufeng are the creators behind Wenjue Lu. For their contribution, they created Thebe 3. Thebe 3 is one of their initial explorations into furniture. For Wenjue Lu, furniture feels more like a pure artistic expression, whereas their clothing designs still require a degree of practicality. When we first started Komune, Studio Wenjue Lu was our first ever supporter. Their deeply conceptual design sets them apart, and Thebe 3 here is a testament to that. The chair was modeled after the sun. The circular shape symbolizes wholeness, unity, and cyclicality. Continuing the celestial motif, there are embroidered halos scattered around the surface. At the end of the day, Thebe 3 is still a chair, so it's still very sittable. Sitting on Thebe 3 forces the user to make subtle movements to maintain stability, which promotes stable posture and a strong core. There's also a stand within the wheels that make Thebe portable. It's a perfect addition to any office space. Dong Yu is the designer behind Doise. For their contribution, they created Soul Soul. Doise has always been a complex project, with each piece grounded in a highly abstract conception. Soul Soul is no different. However, Dong Yu pivoted from their usual sensual themes to a more aesthetic motif. Ten is the designer behind Chidner. For his contribution, he created Vision.
确实还不错。
So much labor goes into a single Chitner piece. Not only is Chitner's production extremely time-intensive, so is the material sourcing. For most jewelry brands, the height of material effort typically involves melting down repurposed silver. In stark contrast, Chitner uses natural beetle remains, which Ten personally sources. Vision amplifies the material sourcing complexity in spades, with 4 beetle inlays all in one belt. This right here is Ten's first attempt at a belt. In fact, it's his first time working with leather also. Thus, Vision is Chitner's most complex product to date. The production for the belt was so intensive that Ten had to pause all other operations to focus entirely on it. This was an opportunity for Ten to really push the craftsmanship behind the Chitner brand. Benjamin Greco is the designer behind Greco. For his contribution, he created a special edition of the Parasite bag. A lot of Ben's work can be seen as maximalist. The Parasite bag may be the epitome of that sentiment. With Ben's more commercial pieces, excessively intricate detailing is not always feasible, which can sometimes constrain his creativity. This bag breaks free from those constraints. Greco's work is another cornerstone of our store. He's been with us ever since our first pop-up, and our earliest customers still come in wearing his bags. The Parasite bag behind me was a collaborative project with Endate, but it still feels quintessentially Greco. The organic, alien-like design is especially apparent with the transparent wrap tubes, which remind us of intestines. Ben patterned these overlapping flaps to resemble a face when shown against the light. Perhaps this is a reference to the chest rupture scene from Ridley Scott's Alien. As usual, exotic materiality is at the center of this work. The body is constructed using transparent kangaroo, horse, and Napa cow leather. There's a goat fur gusset, ostrich shin, python, stingray eye, quartz, and onyx inlays. The strap is woven with 60 metal D-rings in cowhide, and on the side for attachments, there are 2 more magnetic mini pockets and also 2 more D-rings. In total, the bag took more than 100 hours of work. Essentially, the Parasite bag is a combination of techniques and materiality that Ben has worked with in the past. Thus, the bag functions as Ben's way to communicate the breadth of his techniques and all the materials that he works with. All in all, to close this out, I want to quickly express how much gratitude we have as a team for our designers and creatives for working with us on a pilot project like this. We didn't give them too much lead time, and the project was pretty new, so I'm so excited that they even made things for the show, but also to such high fidelity with so much creative vision. It's always so exciting to see. I also want to thank our customers and our community for being so open-minded to the whole idea. We honestly didn't know what this whole thing was going to be like. We just wanted to kind of push what Komune, I guess, could be. In terms of next year, this is hopefully something we do again, but in the shorter term, we have a lot of things planned for next year, and a lot, I don't know about a lot. We're trying to plan a lot. And I hope that it's going to be a good time. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.